Let's get cracking with some college football playoff action, shall we? First round brings us a college station for Texas A&M in Miami. Hurricanes have not won a BCS, New Year's Six, CFP Bowl since 2003 in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. So it's been a long time. The winner will get to take on Ohio State at the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve. But first, you have to get through Saturday noon Eastern in a meeting of two teams that's been a little bit familiar with each other of late. This will be the sixth meeting all time, the first one to happen in postseason play. Miami leads the series right now 3-2 with the most recent win coming at home 40-33.
The next playoff game and the other site for College Game Day will be Saturday morning, College Station, Texas. Miami coming in some quarters somewhat controversially, getting into the playoff with the flip against Notre Dame, the whole situation where they didn't make the ACC championship game and salvaging their way and getting the benefit of the doubt at the expense of Notre Dame, the team that they beat. But here's Miami now, I would imagine, with a bit of a chip on its shoulder, with first-round draft picks on the defensive line. Texas A&M's got a great pass rush, too. If you like people who get after the quarterback, this is your game. With Cassius Howell, Reuben Bain, Akeem Mesidor, so many stars, great receivers on both sides. Malachi Toney's probably, not probably, he is the best freshman in the country. And then on Texas A&M side, you got the two transfers in KC Concepcion and Mario Craver, and Marcel Reed's been great. This is a high-level playoff game for a 7 versus 10 matchup, and a tough draw for the Aggies, and a tough break that they're seated behind Ole Miss for the next game that we have. But Dan, this is a huge. This feels like a semifinal type game, despite the fact that Miami's the 10 seed. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think, look, this playoff field has been, a lot of things happened. Pete and I talked about it after that kind of messed up the playoff field. Namely, Notre Dame's not in this thing, and we have two group of fives. But we are getting two very good games in the first round, and this one is terrific. Like you said, if this had been a semifinal, would not have been surprised if some things had broken differently. I want to know what Texas A&M's program is, and I think this is the statement for that. This has been a magical year for them. Obviously 11-1. They roll through the season, but they come up against, at the end, they need a massive comeback to beat South Carolina, and then they get beat up at Texas and their rival. And I imagine it was an extremely humbling, extremely disappointing, and extremely, kind of gut check decision here. What is this Aggie team? Because if they come out and beat Miami, it's going to be wild down there at Texas A&M in Kyle Field. This has the highest, even though Kyle Field is massive, this has the highest resale value ticket in the playoff, $363. It's not surprising, it's the best game, but Miami does not have a huge fan base like that. This is the highest. You actually want to know the highest playoff game, a college football game price this weekend is the Montana State game, $657 is the average.
Wow.
Price.
Wow.
Yeah. Crushing the FBS playoffs is the
what does it
Brawl of
seat
the
there,
Wild
like 20,000? We don't know.
I don't know.
Where is it? Is it in Bozeman or is it in
It's in Bozeman. It's in Bozeman. They
yeah.
They played already, and Montana State won, so they have the home field. But yeah, that game is that was at Mizzou. But yeah, this is the semifinals of the that thing. That's on Sunday on ABC, ESPN Family Network. So if you want to
there you go, Dan. You're catching on.
Listen, Mr. Magnus, I'm just trying to help out here. I'm going to watch. I mean, that's that. I'm hijacking the conversation, but I mean, is there really, if you like college football and you sit there and go, I'm not interested in Montana State in a semifinal. Like, you don't have to know anything about this. It's called the Brawl of the Wild. I mean, come on. One of the great names of all time. This is fantastic. I don't care if it's FCS football, right? You watch so your team can pluck all the players for next year. One of them will win the Heisman probably. Anyway, I want to know what the Aggie program is right now. I think this is a put up, show up, let's go. Mike Elko, I believe in what he's done. I thought this team was terrific all year. they did not face that competition. And now you either win this game and step up, or it's like, oh, see, we told you it was easy competition. They faded at the end. That to me is the really interesting storyline on here.
So Montana State, we learned this when we went to Bozeman. Rece may remember that the local kid from the state of Montana, who's the toughest hombre on the team, gets number 41 because Montana is the 41st state. So every year they say, you are the biggest, you're the baddest man on this team. You are going to be number 41. And I just loved that. I just thought that was like perfect for the Brawl of the Wild. I'm going to take 41st state. So they give him number 41. Yeah. Making 41 sexy again. I'm going to take Texas A&M in this game. I think it's going to be an excellent game. I love the matchup. I love the talent. I can't wait to be outside Kyle Field on Saturday morning for game day and just feeling the energy and the vibe there. This is a program that's like waited for this moment for decades. And I don't think Miami can overcome the talent disparity. I don't think they can overcome the environment. And I think Texas A&M will find a way to win in advance.
Dan, who'd you take?
Oh, I will take. I'm going to take Miami. I should have said it. I'm going to take Miami.
No,
I said
okay.
all that.
You
I'm
are,
going to take Miami.
Yeah.
Bobcat State. I'm more into Call of the Wild here. Whatever this thing, Call of the Wild. 20,767 at Bobcat Stadium. But they once squeezed in earlier this year. Actually, they squeezed in 22,227. I'm guessing that's going over the top. So I'm going to take Miami in this game. But I want to see what A&M can prove me 100% wrong by showing what the program I think is going to be under Mike Elko. Are you there right now?
Yeah, I think it's a great point. By the way, Dan, I was at the Brawl of the Wild when we were there a couple of years ago. Stayed for the game. The rodeo team leads them out riding horses out. They run out in horses. You should experience that at some point. Tom Wistrcill, the commissioner of the Big Sky, will welcome you with open arms. Might even take you on an elk hunt before.
They once played our old podcast in the stadium before in the pregame because we dared someone to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have 20,000 that day. Drove a few thousand home.
There was like 12 people there at the time. It was like 2 hours. Still, we needed all the help we could get. So didn't Coastal Carolina, by the way. Anyway, go ahead. I'm killing this segment. Totally killed it.
No, that's okay. It's great, actually. I really enjoy it. I'm going to take the Bobcats, first of all, most importantly. And I'm also going to take the Hurricanes. I think that this will
Miami's, huh?
The home teams won every one of the playoff games last year. I believe that Miami will be the first team to win on the road. Am I scared of this pick? You bet I am. Miami in a big game. I mean, I really like Mario Cristobal, but they've created ways to come up short in situations like this historically. It bothers me. A&M also too, historically. So I think it's a great point you made, Dan, about what's your program? Are you elite? Are you able to win? Now, somebody's going to take a step forward, but is this going to be one of those games that somebody actually steps forward? Is this going to be a dumb loses more than smart wins? I think it'll be a great game. I'm going to take Miami, slightest of edge. I think the difference will be that defensive front will be able to contain Marcel Reed from not shut him down, but keep him from destroying them. Keep him from, running 60 yards on a broken play. I think they will keep him from destroying them and then make him beat them from the pocket. And I'm going to give the edge to Miami.
Back in 2023. For now, with even more on the matchup, we bring in the Aggies and the Canes guys who cover them inside and out for 24/7 Sports. That's Carl Carls, who's with the Aggies for 24/7, and David Lake, who covers Miami also for 24/7. Gentlemen, it's an 11 a.m. start locally, so you got to wake up, set the alarm, and get after it immediately. You look at 100,000 strong there at Kyle Field for the first playoff game ever to be held there. When you look at the environment, the home field advantage of all this, Carter, I'll ask you first, how important do you think that will be?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, A&M's averaged, I think, 106,000. I think they've averaged above their capacity this season with how great of a season it's been for Texas A&M. And I just think that in a game where the margins are thin, and you look at Miami where they struggle with penalties, pre-snap penalties has been an issue with them at times this season. It'll be huge because even the best offenses that have played at Kyle Field have struggled before the snap, and you also couple that with the fact that A&M is exceptional on third down, exceptional, number one in the country in sacks. So you get this Miami team and third and long situations, and this crowd can get into it, and you're number one in the nation sack defense can really get after Carson Beck.
Yeah, Carter's right. I mean, this crowd's going to make an impact on this game, and it's something that Miami's going to have to navigate. The toughest crowd Miami's played in this season was at Florida State, kind of early in the year. That crowd was somewhere between 60 and 70,000. And it was rocking early on in that game, but Miami jumped out to a 28-3 lead and kind of put the crowd to bed there. But this is going to be a totally different challenge. As Carter, highlighted, Miami's had some pre-snap issues dating back to their game at SMU, 5 pre-snap penalties in that game. And then also, again, third down, Texas A&M has the number one third down defense in the country, and that crowd noise is going to make life difficult in that operation, especially on third and longs. And also, Miami's only played in 4 road games this season. So it is going to be a challenge that Miami has to navigate.
Yeah, situation that they have not been in, frankly, to be that honest with you, this season, of when you look at just the sheer amount of fans who will be in the stands. Inside and out of this game, you look at Marcel Reed up against that Canes defense has been very opportunistic at times. In that matchup, when you look at it mano-a-mano, David, who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you look at Miami and their track record this season on defense. They've had a lot of success against dual threat quarterbacks, whether it's DJ Lagway at UF, Tommy Castellanos at FSU, Byron Brown, USF, Kevin Jennings, SMU, got loose a little bit, Kyron Drones with Virginia Tech. But Marcel Reed, definitely the toughest challenge that Miami will have faced this year with, because he does bring an explosive element both as a passer and as a runner. I'm curious from a Miami perspective what Miami's approach is to defending Marcel Reed. Do you go man coverage? Do you go zone coverage? I think the zone coverage options allows you to keep your eyes on him and contain him a bit as a scrambler, and forces him to go through progressions and throw the ball into windows. But there's no doubt that Reed has the best collection of weapons and offensive line around him that Miami's faced as it regards to going against a dual threat quarterback this year. So it's a big time challenge.
Other side.
Yeah, and,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to add that, I mean, I think this Texas A&M offense, you got to trust them because of what they've done for most of the season. Really only the Auburn game and the Texas game were the games where they weren't, kind of going off for 400 yards and 30 plus. I will say, though, this Texas A&M offense has been a little streaky for your liking lately. The Texas game obviously did not go well for them. The South Carolina game, we remember how that went, where they were pretty bad in the first half and excellent in the second half. So they do have a little bit of a streaky nature to them. They're very reliant on the big plays. I think if Miami can kind of force them to be this methodical offense where, hey, they don't give up the big play and, hey, you got to march down the field and convert third down after third down. I think that's where this offense struggles if you can kind of, put a cap on them and limit guys like Mario Craver and KC Concepcion, tackle them in space and not let them get behind, the defense. Marcel Reed as well has struggled with interceptions lately. I think he's thrown 1 or 2 in 4 or 5 straight games. And so can they turn the ball over? But when this offense is on, they're exceptional. They can put up 40 points against Notre Dame. They can put up 40 points against anybody. So, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but for the most part, they've been high this season.
Yeah, other side, you're gonna have to figure out how to stop Malachi Tony if you're that Texas A&M defense. Now let's get to the most important question: who wins? Carter, I ask you that first.
Yeah, I've got A&M by a field goal, and I just think that I trust A&M's offense a little bit more. You've got the home field advantage aspect. I don't know if Miami's faced a lot of offenses and been in a lot of environments like this season. And I also think that playing behind this home crowd, this defense, when they're at home, a lot of their struggles have been away from home this year. When they've been at home, they've been pretty good. And I like the matchup against a Miami team that hasn't run the ball super well this year and has also struggled with the pre-snap penalties. I do think we're going to get a big strength-on-strength matchup when it comes to the trenches on both sides of the ball. That'll be kind of the matchup to watch, but ultimately I have A&M by a field goal because I think the home field advantage will play a big factor.
Yeah, and I'll go Miami 27, Texas A&M 23. I think this game kind of comes down to turnovers. Texas A&M's defense is fantastic, but they don't turnovers via picks. They got 3 picks on the year. I think Miami might be able to force Marcel Reed into some picks and I steal some possessions, and I think that'll ultimately be the difference in a close game.
A split decision for who we think will win. We will tune in on Saturday, noon Eastern, to see how it all plays out on the field. Carl.